I think that there are things that we need and pillars that we need that are in the topic of self-care. So it is mental is one of the first ones, mental, then emotional, physical, and spiritual. Welcome to Reps and Redemption, a podcast for moms who want to prioritize their health and build strength from the inside out. Hey there, mama. I know you long to find the joy in all the things homemaking and motherhood while showing your kids that you don't have to give up on yourself, your goals, or your desired quiet time with Jesus just to be a good mom. I'm your host, Ashley Harvey, former college athlete, wife, homeschooling, faith-filled homemaker, mom of 4, nutrition and strength training coach. If you're ready to take control of your health, lose fat, build muscle, and faith, you're in the right place. Grab that iced coffee and let's dive in. I think it's this pregnancy that is really helping me piece apart bit by bit on what to focus on and what truly matters when it comes to the self-care journey as a homemaker and a stay-at-home mom. Now, I think there's also some myths about self-care, and I think that I've realized that only this past year, maybe year and a half, I do think it's important to take care of yourself and obviously daily maintenance of the regular things, as in showering, getting a bath, or, washing your face, something like that. I feel like those things are in the self-care category where it's like, oh, I'm going to, take care of myself a little bit. I'm going to go get a bath. Well, that shouldn't count. In my opinion. I think that because we get so overwhelmed and so, we're serving all day long and we don't really think that we deserve those things. And so I think we need to put aside like the things that we think I deserve to take a shower. I worked hard all day. Well, no, in general, I mean, before you had children, you took a shower every day, right? Like this is something we should be doing on a normal basis. Same thing with I used to get my nails done every month, and I don't think that that's self-care. I think that is definitely a privilege. I think it's, an add-on. I don't really think that that is self-care though. And I actually haven't had my nails done in months, and I feel like, I hate to say it, but I feel like my nails were ruined after doing them for so long. And now I'm kind of taking more a natural, holistic approach. But if that's your thing, I totally understand. I loved it for so long. But now it's one of the things that I'm actually letting go of for now. We'll see. But just things like that. And I think that these myths of oh, we need to get our hair done and our nails done and we need a bath or a long shower. I think those are fine and those are good, but when I'm talking about goals for self-care, I'm not even saying you can't do those things. What I'm saying is, you wouldn't clean the entire house in one day, right? So I think it's important to focus on one self-care item per month so you can get to that place and be used to this is a habit now that you take care of yourself, your body, as a woman, as a daughter of the King, as a wife, as a mom, as a homemaker, as a stay-at-home mom, all the roles that we do within that area. And I think that there are things that we need and pillars that we need that are in the topic of self-care. So it is mental is one of the first ones, mental, then emotional, physical, and spiritual. And then there's things that fall under the main pillars. So recreational, new activities, environmental, geographic location, your social self-care. And, this episode is going to be a little bit short. I wanted to really dive in and talk about all the things, but I also don't want to take up too much of your time. I know your time is precious, as is mine. And also I feel like my little one is, I heard her stirring and she's going to be waking up soon. So better record a little bit than nothing, right? And I really wanted to get this episode out for this month. But I would say the one question to ask yourself to start prioritizing self-care. Now, here's your homework if you're like one of those people who love to really think about something deeply. But the one question to ask yourself to start prioritizing your personal self-care. And when I ask you this question, I want you to think of the mental block, the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual. So one in each category. Now, what do you need to be the kind of woman, wife, and mother that has energy, is kind and patient when needed to be, and is excited for the day? It is a lifelong learning process, figuring out what truly makes us happy and healthy with what we need, but it is also an ever-changing process depending on the season that we are in. Now, I'm not trying to confuse these needs with like universal needs for health and happiness, which include movement, nutrition, rest, purpose, fun, relationships. But the truth is our self-care is dependent on one person. This might blow your mind. And some of you might be like, no, that's not true. It's not. But listen, hear me out. The truth is our self-care is dependent on ourselves, among all the other things that we have on our plate and our roles. And the truth is when we say we don't have time, it might be true to an extent, but it's mostly because we aren't creating the space for what we know we need or want to do. So what do we need mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually to be the kind of woman, wife, and mother that has the energy and is kind and patient and wants to spend time with our kids and is excited to be with our spouse and has more of a healthy point of view? I'm not saying we don't get discouraged. I know when I was in the first trimester with this pregnancy, and it was probably hormone related as well, but I felt myself, just my outlook was so negative and so down, and I knew I needed to focus on different things. And it's probably because I felt sick. And so you need to figure out what season you're in and what you can create the space and time for, because you are worth it and you are important. So here's the homework part. At the end of the day, when you get a shower or wind down and you have some alone minutes to yourself, think about what could have made you feel better during the day. What was it you wish you would have done, or what is it you wish you would have said or made time for or loved to have accomplished to fill your tank of self-care and also being the kind of mother and the kind of wife that you know you are capable of being, that you know you want to be. And this is something that I'm going to be journaling about the next few days. I want to dig deeper to figure out my needs. For example, if for me, it's one of my physical needs to make me a better mom, a better wife. One of my physical needs is I love the gym. I love working out. I love fitness. And all I truly need is 30 minutes. Now, if I can get an hour or two, that's fantastic. But all I really need is 30 minutes. So then I have to audit my day, look through my schedule, look at what my kids need, look at what my family needs, my household. But when can I make this happen? Because truth be told, no one else is going to make my 30 minutes of strength training. Hopefully it's more, but this is the minimum. Nobody else is going to make this happen for me. I am the only one who can make this happen. If it's, for example, connection with your spouse or your children, that's relational, and that falls under the category of emotional and mental, and you want to build that and you want it to be stronger. How can you meet them where they are to help fill the need on both ends? And then if it's nutrition, what do you wish you would have made easier for the day? Easier for the day. Sorry, I'm like running my words together. For me, it's lunch. I swear, it's like breakfast is fine for the most part. Dinner is fine. But if I can just have lunch already made like the day before and already like set in the fridge, packaged, ready to go, because we get home from the gym like in the nick of time to do my 1-year-old's nap and to do lunch and school, and hopefully I get to work a little bit, and it's just a little bit chaotic. And I know that need will help me accomplish not only a physical need, for example, but also like my mental and emotional well-being. And the kids won't be as stressed and cranky because they're not waiting on me to hand them lunch. It's already ready. It's pull it out of the fridge, heat it up if I have to or not, and then just have it ready to go. So that is the one question I would ask you in how you can start prioritizing your self-care. And you can pick one to focus on. So maybe this month you're going to focus on mental or emotional. There's physical and spiritual. I know also one of the things that is super, super important to me, and I'm focusing on it. I'm going to dive in more, but I love quiet time in the morning. I used to do it way more or have way more time before I was pregnant, but now it's kind of hard, right, to get up, to get moving, and to wake up before my kids. But I know I need at least 20 to 35 minutes before the whole house starts getting up so I can pray and read and have a few sips of coffee before all the things get thrown, at my feet to do, and all the things that I need to make and make sure are done before we get out of the house. And I know that is going to make me just better all around, a stronger woman, stronger in my faith, stronger for the day, more excited for the day because I've had some breathing space. And this is going to be, the answers might come easy to you, or you might need to really think about it tonight as you're getting, wound down to go to sleep. Think about what would have been better for you and made you better during the day if you had made the time and the space for taking care of yourself. I'm really curious to see what you have come up with. And I know it's hard to hear that we are truly the only ones in charge of our health, of our happiness, of our mental well-being, of our emotional state. This is not to say or excuse others like our spouse or our other older kids from helping out or being a part of the team or helping mom keep the ship afloat, right? That's not what I'm saying, but I am saying that you are in charge of you as well as all of these other things, and how to train up your children, our children, in the way they should go, how they should manage their time, how they should manage their self, their health, their spiritual life, how they should speak to their husbands, how they should treat their spouse. And these things, it's kind of a lot, right? But if we don't take care of ourselves, we are going to get so tapped and so exhausted and maybe even resentful. I know I've been there with, oh my gosh, nobody cares. Nobody cares about my time. Like, I have no time to do any of this. But the truth is, I'm the one in charge of the time. What, does my 5-year-old have charge of the time? I mean, if I let her have the keys, then yeah, she'll drive. She'll drive all day long, right? But we've got to, I guess, get the keys back if we have been feeling worn down and stressed out, and then focus on one or two things that would really make a difference in our roles as wives, mothers, and daughters of the King. And I hope that this has challenged you today. Remember, you can make this happen. You are worth taking the time for. You are worth meal prepping for. You are worth going for a walk by yourself for, listening to a podcast, going to the gym for 30 minutes or 2 hours, whatever it is you need. You can even ask yourself that day, which bucket, which topic do I need to fill? My emotional needs for self-care, my physical needs for self-care, my mental, my spiritual. Do I need more time in the Word? And hopefully, you can focus on each one every day, even if it's just for 5 to 10 minutes, because then that's basically what is it for? 25 minutes a day. I mean, hopefully your physical is getting there, and I've encouraged you to get to the gym, but I'm going to start sharing some workouts with you so you can make this happen in your garage during nap time if you need to do that, because some of us don't have a gym nearby. I've heard that. So I want to help you where you are at. I hope you ask this one question to yourself. What do you need to be the kind of woman, wife, and mother that has energy, is kind and patient when needed, and excited for the day? I will see you next time. If this episode inspired you, will you share with a friend? I would be so grateful if you would leave a podcast review on your listening app of choice. Remember, the content provided in this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please seek the advice of your qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical or health condition. Remember, be bold, mama, and live well. Until next time.